You wouldn't have had much fun in Stalingrad. I said you wouldn't have had much fun in Stalingrad. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I saw a story today that pesticides, which long have been a problem, apparently are a major contributing factor to the destruction of the males in just about every species. Apparently pesticides are causing the destruction of males in every species. And this on top of the fact that there are estrogen-like chemicals being secreted by plastics in the environment is only contributing to a soon-to-be new global crisis. For all of you men out there who feel yourself not quite where you used to be in the sexual prowess department, don't be surprised and don't wonder that maybe you have something wrong with you. Blame it on the fucking chemical companies, because that's where the blame lies. You've been sucking up fucking estrogen and pesticides and everything else, which is destroying your testosterone, lowering your sperm count, and generally making you less of a man. So, just another thing to put in the corner of the fucking corporations in this country and around the world. The same fucking bullshit again. The people being screwed over by these same industries continuously over and over again. In this case, it's the men. So what's going to happen in the future? Maybe we'll come to a point where we can't even have fucking children anymore, because I'm sure the women are being affected in some way as well. I'm sure everybody enjoyed the big fat game that was going on in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill with the auto industry. The kowtowing and the shenanigans being performed by the auto industry executives as they come hat in hand looking for a bailout. The foregone fucking conclusion that where we're at now is where they intended us to be from the very fucking beginning. Okay? First they asked for $25 billion. Then they come back and say, no, we need $34 billion. And lo and behold, after all of this fucking song and dance, Congress agrees, well, at least in principle right now, it hasn't been finalized or anything, but it's going to happen, agrees to the $25 billion. So it just fucking drives me nuts. So there you have that. I hope you enjoyed the song and dance at least. The driving down to Washington in the hybrid vehicles by the executives, and one of them agreeing to work for $1 in exchange for the loans. Just such a fucking farce. But definitely theater at its best. Obama says today that the economy is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. He's already hedging his bets, it seems. And why don't you, Mr. fucking genius Obama Saint Messiah, why don't you tell us something that we all don't know already, you fucking idiot? Of course it's going to get better, because there are only negative projections on everything. Still, we have yet to see a backlash from the huge derivatives market. We have yet to see that. Pakistan is heating up. This is going to be the next flashpoint, I think, with the U.S. actually going in there in a major way. What with the destruction of NATO equipment in Pakistan, and the supposed proof that planning for the Mumbai attack came from Pakistan is pointing more and more towards Pakistan being the next big flashpoint for United States intervention. Well, we're already firing missiles in there and doing various other things along the so-called tribal border, so it's only one step away from going in there whole hog, as it were. Chicago workers refused to leave a factory after they lost their jobs. And apparently they were denied medical care, continuation of their insurance coverage, that is, severance pay, and all of the other things that come with their jobs. Good for them. I hope we see a lot more of these fucking squatters. Screw the fucking company. They lay you off, they close a fucking plant, move the fuck in. That's what you should be doing. Congratulations to all of you people in Chicago who have done that. This is fantastic. I hope it starts a fucking trend. Move in, set up a fucking shanty town in their fucking warehouse. Maybe it'll send a message to somebody. Goddamn fucking corporations. O.J. Simpson found guilty, sentenced to prison, 15 years. He'll probably only serve a small portion of that, but the point of it is he's going to jail, and I'm sure this is going to make a lot of people very, very happy. Especially those who think that he got away with murdering his ex-wife and her boyfriend. And so I guess justice has been served in this particular instance, finally. The criminal justice system in this country is fucked up beyond all repair, but sometimes what comes around goes around, and maybe he's finally got his just desserts. And I just want to make a comment back to an earlier video I made about the 60 Senate majority for the Democrats. It's a moot point, even though the Minnesota race is not decided, because Chambliss won in Georgia, I believe, which means that they can't reach 60. Best they could do is 59 if Franken wins, but I so hope he doesn't, because he's a big pile of shit. And just for clarification, when I said before that the Democrats should have nothing to cry about, that they shouldn't mention the word Republican at all in the next 2 years if they did get their 60-member supermajority there to block filibusters and virtually nullify the entire Republican contingent within the Senate. That was in no way an endorsement of Republicans. It was only a way of pointing out the fact that the Democrats, supposedly those behind the Messiah, Obama, would have absolutely no one to blame but themselves, and the stupid fucking sheeple in this country would have no one to fucking blame but them. So I wouldn't want to hear any fucking crap about how Republicans refused to cooperate, or Republicans did not back the bill, or Republicans did not cross the aisle. I don't want to even hear the word Republican, but it's all a moot point now. The same thing would hold true if the situation was reversed, because Republicans, Democrats, they're all the same fucking thing. Thank you. Good night.